Hi, just wanted to do a little number on just getting Linux working with Microsoft Visual Studio Code with C++ so that you can actually compile and run programs. I've done it a few times before, but see if I can actually record it this time. Take care. Okay, what we are planning on doing, this is what I've done before, and we have the CPP file in a directory, and it creates a executable file, and then also in the .vs code, we'll have a tasks JSON, which tells how to actually compile it, and then a launch JSON, which tells how to actually use it. So we'll be switching over to a different project. And then we'll just come out of here. If you notice, I am just starting with a temp conversion.cpp, and then the rest will be created through our work. I'm going ahead and open this with Visual Studio Code, because that's what we have on the system. And then this is the code here. And the first thing we need to do is open a folder, because nothing will work without it. And so then we just want to use the folder that the code is actually in. Say OK. And then this will give me a few options, but I just want to go back to the CPP file. And then when it's up and ready to go, then we can start working, and it has to be selected for these various options. The first thing we do is terminal and say configure default build task. And then we want to do a G++ build active file. We could use the CPP, that's the Microsoft. This is the GNU compiler. And then it creates the tasks.json file in the VS code directory. And then it says it's going to be used on a shell, and C++, what type build it is, where the G++ is located, and file is the name of this file here. And then workspace folder was set to the folder in which the temp conversion CPP is located. And this is just going to say it's a build. So then we can go ahead and go back to the test. And then if we go to the terminal, we should be able to run a build. Then notice the build went perfectly fine. But the next thing we need to do is create the run task. Again, we have to make sure we are in the CPP file. Then we go to run. And then add configuration. This is for a run configuration. And again, I'm going to do the G++ build, the G build. And if you notice, then it's going to do the add configuration. And then this should then if I look at this, this is now the launch configuration, and I need to go back to the CPP file before I can do anything else. And then I'm going to do a rerun. And notice when I'm doing a rerun, then it brings up the program. Again, it has to have the temp conversion CPP file in there. And I can go ahead and maybe select A1 and then enter the temperature 76. Then I'll do the rest of the file. Notice it comes back to the prompt. And then if I do an ls here, it gives me those two. And if I do an ls-a, it will give me also the .vs code. So if I do an ls-a of .vs code, it should give me then the two files that are in there. And so we are ready to work on debugging. And the other thing that I can do for debugging is, for example, if I wanted to, I could set a breakpoint here. And then I can either then temp conversion okay, launch JSON. And this is where I had the same problem as before. So then I guess I just have to go up to run and go to start debugging again. It'll bring up the shell, the terminal shell. And then notice it'll go to the group breakpoint. And up here it has a group of commands. I can either step into something, step out of it, restart the program, or stop the program. And I'm just going to do a step over. And then notice when I get to the CN choice, it'll go ahead and wait for me to do something. So if I type in 3, notice it comes back to the next. And I can just go down through this and then until I get to the finally just asking for the actual temperature. And if I do 576, then it's going to do the ret val to the temperature and then choice Kelvin. So I am going to head and notice on the left-hand side, then are all the values and then set precision. And then I'm going to print out the information and return. So hopefully this has been a helpful hint, and I'll go ahead and post it on my webpage. Take care. And that's all, folks.